For over 20 years, the Atlantic Mayors Congress has provided a forum for exchanging ideas and a unified voice for municipal leaders in Atlantic Canada. The Summerside edition has a particular focus on addressing housing and homelessness, with sessions engaging community, provincial, and national perspectives.
Alan Dale from Gale Force Winds, and what a great day I'm having here on day 2 at the Atlantic Mayors Congress. A lot of great conversations happening in that room, a lot of good sharing of ideas, and I want to tell you, it's a real pleasure to have the Mayor of Charlottetown on with us. Mayor, tell us what's exciting about what's going on in Charlottetown at the moment.
Well, what's exciting about the whole city is that summer is fast approaching. So with summer, there's a lot of tourism that's going on. Cruise ships are coming in.
Right.
I think this year we're up to 92 that will be visiting the city between May and October. And also it's the start of the CDP, Charlottetown Driving Park, the racing, horse racing season. And then just the activity that's going around just throughout the city. And Green Gables is back because it took a 1-year vacation, so it's going to be going every second year. They got some new shows coming up at the Confederation Center, Jersey Boys.
Yep.
And all that entertainment, cultural activity, and the buzz that is created around the city is exciting for me and for anyone that lives in Charlottetown or is visiting Charlottetown.
Yeah, it's a vibrant little town. There's no doubt about it. I mean, the city is alive in the summertime, and even outside of the summer, it's a great, vibrant downtown core. What are some of the big issues you're focused on right now, Mayor?
Al, and your wife being a doctor understands that physical health, mental health are struggles. And, we can go back to COVID-19 that, it put the big spotlight on it. But these issues have been there, and now they're manifesting themselves by being out in the streets. So we have this whole issue, and we're having these discussions here today and yesterday as part of the AMC, had it an FCM in Calgary with the Federation of Canadian Municipalities annual meeting. But it's the mental health challenges, the drug addiction crisis, the misuse of alcohol, unemployment, and underlying all that is the unhoused, the marginalized, the unwelcome, the unwanted. And they may not represent a majority of the population. The numbers could be maybe 5 or 7% that marginalized population is represented of the total population. But the resources that are focused on it are great. It could be up over 50% in terms of justice, medical, community, municipal services, provincial services. Everything is focused on it. But as was said to me yesterday, is that, if there's a problem, we have to tackle it. Like when there's unemployment, we put all the resources into trying to get unemployment back to not full employment, but employment where there's a healthy balance between the unemployed and the employed. So 3 to 4% unemployment. Or if we have economic crisis, we put all our forces into trying to revive the economy through putting more money into the economy, or looking at how do we broaden our professional base or skill base to make our economy work. We got a mental health crisis. We have a drug addiction issue. We have misuse of alcohol issues. What do we do? And as communities across the Atlantic region, across this country, we need to focus on what can get us back on the right track.
Yeah. And of course, the rubber hits the road right with the municipal council, right?
It does.
Right there. People want answers from you, and you don't control all those levers, right? You don't control all the levers, but you got to work with groups, and there's a lot of moving parts that you kind of require solid leadership at a municipal level to navigate these tumultuous waters that you described. Are there good conversations happening in the room around that?
Great conversations. And I give a big shout out to Dan Kuchar, the mayor of Summerside, and our AMC executive director, Craig Paulet, in organizing the focus on housing, focusing our energy on the mental health challenges, the drug addiction crisis, misuse of alcohol issues. These are all issues that are pertinent to us. And I'll hear from residents in Charlotte, and I'm sure it's similar to all over. The issues on your streets, so it's your problem. Well, it's on our streets, but when you look at constitutional responsibilities, health and education are provincial constitutional responsibilities. And that's why I said yesterday when we had this discussion on our mental health challenges in our communities, is at all levels of government, all NGOs have to be focused on finding a path forward, on taking the whole issue of our marginalized population. I keep referring to them as the unwanted, the unwelcome, and make them part of that community. That we are a caring community. We do have empathy, but to me, we're in the end, or in a sum, we're all humans.
Yeah.
And we have to look at each other with respect. My mother always said, if you think ill of other people, or you think mal of others, you're thinking mal of yourself. So you have to look as a positive and an optimistic person when you're in this role. And yes, you got leaders here, but we have many leaders in our community. Yeah. We have many leaders throughout the daily lives of city life, rural life, and they have to be part of making this, to find a resolve to what the current situation that we're in.
Mayor, I love the inclusiveness of your conversation. You understand it's a big tent and everybody is welcome in here. Give me a great story of success in Charlottetown at the moment.
I can give you a great story. And this story started back in 2005 when I was a municipal councillor. And I know that I remember being in Hamilton for the FCM in 2003, and I brought up the issue of transit. Like, we need a transit system is an economic generator. So in 2005, Clifford Lee was mayor, the province jumped in, and T3 jumped in, Mike Casting. Yep. So we have a triple P transit system. It's working great. We're moving people from one end of the city to the other end of the city, east, west, north, south. And that to me is a success story.
Yeah.
Now, how can you build on that when you look at housing? Well, Mike Cassidy has a proposal to look at an uptown development. So that uptown development is in the north end of the city. Our main line of transit is on University Avenue. That's north-south line. So if he's looking at development uptown, and you want to prevent people getting into their cars to drive downtown, but to use the transit system, he's integrating what he has made successful over 19 years, going in his 20th year, and how he can make that work not only for developing more housing, but also reducing our carbon footprint. Yeah. That to me is a success story.
Fantastic.
I can talk about, this October 24th, we'll be opening the new Simmons Aqua Arena facility. A new rink, a new outdoor pool, a new community center. That's a great project. Yeah. What's long term for me is how transit is going to be an integral part of future housing development. Yeah. Reducing our carbon footprint.
It's all connected, eh?
All the dots are connected. Yeah. So that to me is something I feel good about. We do have other projects. We have John Abbott, who's the general manager of the Eastlink multi-use sports and entertainment center. He wants to expand and renovate that building to accommodate more spectators. I'm a big proponent of that. We also have that big piece of land right in the middle of the city called Experimental Farm. I'd like to work with our federal, provincial counterparts and approach the federal government to say, look, this land is lying dormant. Is it about developing it? Yeah. No. It's about how to make it a more open, accessible green space for all Charlottonians and all islanders.
Mayor, thanks very much for your perspective. All of this stuff doesn't happen without solid leadership, so thanks for keeping a steady hand on the tiller. We appreciate it.
And listen, say hi to your wife, Dr. Janice.
For over 20 years, the Atlantic Mayors Congress has provided a forum for exchanging ideas and a unified voice for municipal leaders in Atlantic Canada. The Summerside edition has a particular focus on addressing housing and homelessness, with sessions engaging community, provincial, and national perspectives.